Hi everyone. Today I will tell you a tale about medicine, molecular imaging, and motorcycles, or in other words, how I accidentally became patient zero for my own research topic. This is me in October 22, doing this thing called flat track. You go on an oval dirt track without absolutely any brakes. Sounds pretty dangerous, right? Well, this was me in November 22, after I woke up from a surgery to reconstruct my missing ACL, or anterior cruciate ligament, Kreuzbandriss in German. Since I'm in a room of very intelligent people, I think I don't really need to explain how I got myself in this situation, right? You know how normal people Google their symptoms when they're sick? Well, we're scientists, right? So we don't Google our symptoms. Instead, we know better than that, right? So we go to PubMed. And this is exactly what I did for my missing ACL. And there was this one word that I was seeing over and over again, namely osteoarthritis. In fact, the connection between osteoarthritis and ACL reconstructions was so strong that there were over 4,000 publications on this topic. So what exactly is osteoarthritis, actually? Osteoarthritis is defined by degradation and loss of the articular cartilage and is a classic aging-related disorder. Wait a minute, aging-related? I'm 29 years old, I'm not old. Well, 29 or not, thanks to my short-lived flat track career, now I'm at a higher risk of developing osteoarthritis for the rest of my life. Luckily enough, I didn't hit my head in that accident, so I had enough brain lift to get accepted to Stanford Medicine for a postdoc in molecular imaging. And little did I know at this moment that I will be studying exactly, anyone? Any guesses? Osteoarthritis, exactly. So why do you even need to study osteoarthritis in the first place? Let me give you an example of how our joints work based on the motorcycle that almost killed me. Joints are like the shock absorbers in your body. When you move, they absorb the load that you put on them, just as the suspension of the motorcycle absorbs the bumps and the potholes on the American streets. Year after year, and mile after mile, the Homo sapiens and the Deus ex machina move happily without any problems. What happens when that's not the case anymore with your motorcycle? Well, you go on eBay, order some new parts, change the fork oil, change the seals, and then you're good to go for a couple of thousand miles. But what happens when that's not the case anymore in your body? Well, unfortunately, researchers haven't really figured out how to reverse the progression of osteoarthritis, so you will gradually be in more and more pain year after year and mile after mile until you maybe get a total knee replacement as an aftermarket part when you're 80 years old. So what if, instead of waiting for the disease to progress so far, we learn how to characterize it and treat it early on? Today we know of this process called senescence that plays an important role for the development of osteoarthritis. You can think of senescent cells versus healthy cells like old people versus young people. Old people are alive and they're keeping it together, but they're generally slower, get sick more easily, and don't reproduce anymore. So here's an idea. What if we could selectively image those senescent cells? This is exactly what I'm currently working on. Together with a lab from Germany, we work on the development of this positron emission tomography radio tracer to image senescent cells. The radio tracer can distinguish between the senescent cells and the healthy cells based on this enzyme that the senescent cells overexpress. You can think of this like a key and lock model. The radio tracer can only unlock the senescent cells. Therefore, only those cells are visible in the PET scanner. Using this technique, we can quantify the progression of osteoarthritis and develop targeted therapies so you don't need to wait for that aftermarket knee when you're 80 years old anymore. Over the last 8 months at Stanford, I've been working to create those beautiful PET MRI images where we can clearly distinguish between the senescent cells and the healthy cells. And looking at those images, I really can't help but wonder, how long will it be until I can see an image like this for my own knee? Thank you.